Okay, this section is called Angle Measures. It's section 1-4 from the book. Okay, so before we start talking about measuring angles, I want to go over ray, what a ray is. So ray is part of a line. Part of a line. It has one endpoint. And it goes on forever in one direction. Okay, so for example, this would be ray, a ray like this. Say ray TU. And then you have to have your endpoint first, and then your direction you're going to, and the arrow always is facing this direction. So for example, if I gave you this ray, and I gave it to you like this would be ray RS. And so obviously I started at the end point and I went in the S direction. Okay, so the order matters. The order is really important. You always have to put the end point first when you're talking about the ray, no matter what direction it goes in. Okay, so an angle is formed by two rays. With the same endpoint, with a common endpoint. That endpoint is called the vertex. Okay, so for example, I have an angle. And I'm going to call it X here. I'm going to put a Y here and a Z here. So this is angle YXZ. The sides of the angles are rays, and we have side ray XY and ray XZ. So when we are asked to name sides, you name the rays. The vertex is X, so we just call it the point. And then, of course, we have the interior, and it goes on forever. And we have our exterior, all of the outside of the angle. Okay, interior. Okay. When we name our angles, we can name our angle by the three letters, the 3 points that are on it, but we always want to put the vertex in the middle. So this would be angle YXZ, or we could call it angle ZXY. The order does not matter as long as your vertex is in the middle. Okay, so the vertex must be the middle letter of your angle name. All right. We can also name this angle right here angle X, because it's the only angle with a vertex X. So with vertex X. If there are any other angles that have X as a vertex, then we can't use that as a name. But also, if I were to put, say, a 3 in the middle of that, in the interior there, like as I'm labeling it, this is also a name that we can call the angle, angle 3. All right, let me show you when you can't use the same, just use the vertex as a letter. So here I have an angle, and I put a ray coming out of the vertex. So let's see, this is A, B, C, and D. So see, I cannot name any of these angles angle B. I cannot use that because more than one angle, there's actually 3 angles with vertex B. So this is angle ABC, or ABD is our big one, and then we have angle 1, which is ABC also, and angle 2, which is angle CBD. So important. This is a sketch I drew for naming or measuring an angle with a protractor. So I was trying to get a video, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, or an actual tool. So what I did was I got this, I drew a protractor, and on a protractor there is this little point right at the center of the bottom part right here. And we would line up the vertex of your angle there. Some protractors have like a little hole right here you would put, and there's a line that goes through it. Pretend this point is your little space on the protractor, and then this is your line that goes through it, and on that end it has a 0. And so that's where the 0 degrees is. So you line up the vertex with that little marker on the protractor, then line up the ray, the side of the angle, with where the 0 mark is. And then you go up and you measure your angle. So this, on the inside, there might be a 180, and then outside a 0. Then over here, we would have a 0 on the inside and a 180 on the outside. Or sometimes it's switched. Just know that if you start with a 0 here, then you're going to use the outside letters and numbers to take the measurement of that angle. Okay, so if you're measuring an angle less than 90, since 90 would be straight up, then you obviously would use the number that's less than 90 for the angle measure. The inside ones are the bigger than 90 ones. Okay, so we are going to classify our angles as acute, right, obtuse, or straight. Acute angles are angles that are less than 90 degrees, for example, angle QPR. Right angles are 90 degrees exactly, like angle QPS, the 90-degree angle. Obtuse angle would be one that's greater than 90 degrees, like angle QPT, so that would be more than 90 degrees. And a straight angle would be 180 degrees, angle QPU, straight across. So another vocabulary word is opposite rays. Ray PQ and ray PU are opposite rays. They are on the same line, but they go in opposite directions. They have the same vertex, P, but they go in opposite directions.